What it is, y'all, it is your old boy Pilk, and as we've been talking about today in the news thread a lot, we've had a huge discussion about this. You guys have very plainly said you want to know how to farm free-to-play Iris, and I get it. There are tons of ways to do it in this game. Now, let's get down and talk about a few of my absolute favorites, but first, I want to talk about one thing that I will warn you guys about right now. The temptation to EOL. By EOL, I mean end of life. Basically, farm these story events to completion. The temptation to do that is vast, but I'm going to tell you right now, do not do it. I'm dangerously close to that myself. Now, my Bell story, not so much. After level 30, kind of held off on it. I'm getting really close on Eyes and Leafia both. In fact, I think Leafia is actually done. The problem with that is once I have those done, that's it. Until they add more story, I'm not going to have enough to farm, which is going to be a major problem. That said, that's really easy and that's really self-explanatory. Let's talk about a few of my other absolutely favorite ways to farm this game and get free-to-play Iris, starting with something we actually didn't talk about, the interact screen. Now, in the interact screen, if you go into the story events, if you haven't been doing this, good for you, actually, believe it or not. This is kind of one of those last things, last dish efforts I do, is come in here and go to the stories, and you can actually run these stories up. Now, these stories are related to your CP items, or CP quests. You do have to have a certain amount of your CP quests completed in order to come in here and do this. My apologies. My phone is going to be acting weird tonight, but I digress. Come in here and you can farm up Iris through there. You can go in here and do the stories. You get 5 Iris per story. Now, this one says maximum CP level 23. I have to have her at CP level 23 in order to get these stories. Let's see. I think that is universal, if I'm completely honest. So let's go into Leafia. And let's go to Interact. And let's go down here to Loki. Stories. Stories. And Story. So yes. I believe, and I could be wrong here, but I believe she has to be level 23 CP on at least one unit in order to unlock this. I believe that's the way that works. I could be wrong on that. I could be all units, but I believe it's only one unit. So that's another way to unlock CP items. So you've got stories and you've got quests in each unit. 24 units in total. And they could eventually add some units in here, hopefully. Hopefully they do shortly. Where you'd be able to unlock quite a bit there. See, she is CP level 18 here. Let's go ahead and take a look. On Belle, she is Interact. CP level 20. So yeah, CP level 23, I believe, on just one character. So the other thing to do, so if you really want to math this out, I believe if you MLB these, I believe it's 4 Iris apiece. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's see, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 8, 12. So 12 stories, 4 Iris, it's 48 Iris. Not crazy. Stories. You've got 4 stories here, 5 Iris apiece, it's 20 Iris. Starting to add up. Outfits. For every outfit on a unit you get, you're going to come here, you're going to get another 5 Iris. So she's only got those outfits there. But you know, you have some units, case in point, Riveria. In fact, I wonder if I even did her most recent one. Go to stories. See, I haven't even done her stories. So, with Riveria in the party, I should have a party with her in it. I think I do. Yeah, she's right there. So, I could run this quest real quick. Let's clear this bad boy and just see. I'm not going to read the stories. There's actually really great backstories in here for each unit, and I do heavily recommend reading each one. It's just extended lore, more or less. I believe, and I could be wrong, but I believe these aren't anything that have been animated before. I think most of these are unique one-off stories, like things you would get out of the light novels. I could be completely incorrect on that, but I think that's the way that works. As someone who is only recently getting into light novels, please pardon my ignorance. It is something that I definitely want to get into, and I'm making some more time to make that happen. So hopefully I won't be ignorant on that for much longer. So let's go ahead and complete this event. We're going to get a little bit more story here, and you can always go back and rerun it and read the stories, but S clear, let's see. Yep, 4 iris. So 3 iris for clearing it, 1 iris for S clearing. So there you go. So I just got 4 more iris for doing practically nothing. Story, you go over here, get more story. Outfits, did I unlock her most recent one? I did. So I have a little bit more iris in here that I can do, and frankly, I'm going to leave that alone. That is kind of my last-ditch effort. I'm going to leave Interact alone as long as I can to save a little bit of extra iris just for the next time I might need it. Now, I talk about CP items all the time. Let's go to that page and talk about CP. Pardon me. So, CP items. You go in here, you farm up CP for everybody. As you farm up CP, my favorite are these lower levels. Everything up to, I think, level 14 with most units gives you 5 iris. So it's like every other up to level 13 for her is going to give you 5 iris. So you're going to have an opportunity to get a decent amount of iris. And total CP for that one is actually pretty low. I think it's, let's see, total CP is 3,276 left. So I don't want to waste all that. Actually, you know what? No, I wouldn't do that. Because while the CP here, it would give her 100 CP. If I'm able to like farm up, which I can do at the beginning of every month, some more of the souvenirs are 200 CP. Now I know the Dungeon Cake says 200. That Dungeon Cake on the right unit is 400 CP. So you want to wait till you have a unit that gives you a little heart there next to that thing. So for instance, if I go up here to Lena, doesn't show you what she likes. Cassandra wants Books of Knowledge. You see the little heart there? That Book of Knowledge just jumped up from 100 to 200 CP. So make sure you're using the right CP for the right unit. Don't waste, especially this. Dungeon Cakes are high level CP. That would be 400 CP on the right unit. I believe Lily requires roses. Alan, I think, is also roses. Aries is Dungeon Cakes. There we go. So notice the Dungeon Cake jumped up to 400. So it's the right choice for him. Now, if it's me, and I've done this a lot, pick your lowest level units and start working on those if all you're going to do is farm iris. If iris is your game, do that. Start with your lowest level units, get them up to like CP 14, CP 16, and you can even go in here to CP reward list and it'll tell you which rewards are which. So for him, he's currently level 20. I'm 1,500 away. So 22 is his next one. So I would then have to give him a decent amount of iris to get, or decent amount of CP, I'm sorry, to get 10 iris. So plan accordingly, right? That is one of the best ways. Pardon me. That is one of the best ways. So this is something you could do all of the time. I did a video about this yesterday where with our 100 3-star tickets you got, if you got shafted, you really didn't, because that's, what, 44,000, I think it was 45,000, something like that. Crazy number, crazy amount of CP. For instance, I believe that gets one unit up to like level 30, which as you progress, obviously it's going to cost more and more and more and more and more to level up the units. While 3,000 got you to level 12, you might be 3,000 from like level 22 to level 23. In fact, it's hard to tell here. Level 27, Anya. She requires 2,300 to get up to the next level. And she's not quite a quarter of the way through hers. It's about a fifth of the way through hers. So about 3,000, maybe more. Probably about 4,000. So, well, not that much. 3,200 or so. Just guessing. So that tells you kind of on the lower levels. Like, you could come in here and level up your units, and it's a really great idea. Because once you get up here, once you get into the higher levels, like Haruhime is my highest on Bell. Not on all units, but on Bell. And that means she got Agility 10, Dex 8, MP 10, Strength 12, Magic 12, so on and so forth. Endurance 3, Agility 10. See, it starts to really stack. Dex 8. That's why a lot of the times when you go to like, there's HP 50. A lot of times when you go to like War Game and you're like head to head, you have an almost identical team you're facing, but they just roast you out of the gate. Could be they have higher CP, they have more Dex, or I'm sorry, more Agility. It's a very, very, very easy thing to overlook. But as far as free-to-play Iris goes, I recommend starting at the bottom. And right now, I think it's a great time to start. Now, Wargame brings me up to a really great point. Wargame is currently running. I feel like this Wargame was a lot harder than previous. I started losing at King 3 with a team last time that took me to King 1 without flinching. Now, that could be bad matchups or just bad luck on my part. But 42, I think is the greatest number of defeats I've ever had. Now, to be fair, a lot of that was me trying to climb the King 1 wall and failing miserably. But, man, that rank is awful. Rank is so bad. I pretty much stopped progressing. I do my runs for each day to get my Iris and then kind of walk away. So, make sure you're doing these things. Just because so I'm going to get, let's see, go to rewards here. So tonight after it ends, I'm going to get 700 Iris. It's not really worth fighting for the extra 50 Iris. I would love to get it, and I'd love to finally break the wall to get to Hero 3. But it's also, there's a high likelihood at this point, with as late as we are in this, I could lose 50 Iris. That's not worthwhile. That's absolutely not worthwhile. So I'm going to stay stagnant here at King 1 and make sure that I'm getting my rewards. Now, that said, Record Buster, which is coming tomorrow, is a whole different animal. Whereas a lot of this has to do with the other players in the game and what they're doing and how you face up against them. Record Buster is almost entirely about how you face your opponent. You're in a lot more control when it comes to Record Buster. A lot more control. So for me, like, last couple of times, I've been top-notch in Record Buster. I've been way up there. Top 100, come close to top 50 a couple times. So, in Record Buster, I'm expecting 700 some Iris. So I'm really looking at about 1,300 Iris in 2 weeks. Just from running those events. Not including what we've done over here. Not including any of that. So that is just Iris that I can chill on. Do you see how quickly you can farm up a lot of Iris? Now, obviously, too, the other thing to mention are the events. Running events is going to get you Iris. Heroic Trial, you get, I think, a certain amount of Iris for just beating each one. Also, make sure you're doing your exchange. This goes away tomorrow, so someone did ask earlier about Heroic Trial, and yes, you can only get one bond per, but you get Iris for doing that. You go over here into Guild, and make sure you're checking Guild every day. It'll tell you what to do. Now, obviously, I haven't completed all my dailies, but I'm going to shortly after this video. Make sure you're doing your dailies. You're going to get minimum 10 Iris out of it. If you're doing everything over here in a time limited, you're going to get even more. I think I get 30 to 50 Iris a day just doing all my daily things. Obviously, that winds up netting you a few other things, like I got 10 Iris for ranking up a war game. I got 10 Iris for doing this. Obviously, the other thing is dispatch quests. You can get Iris from the dispatch quest I ran last night. See, I got my results right here. One of them gave me 20 Iris. So let's see. This dispatch quest gave me 2 Iris. Not all of them give you Iris, and you do have to, great success them. You have to have great success. But it's more free-to-play Iris. This game is all about feeding you free-to-play Iris. Completely about feeding you free-to-play Iris. So there we go. I'm going to go ahead and complete all of this. Boom. And one more. Boom. So notice all 6 of those were great success. See, that one did not give me Iris, but all the rest of them did. All the other 5 gave me Iris. So if I go down here to this last one, go to challenge, the best way to handle this, I always do recommended party. Just going to tell you over here I need a Chloe, I got a Chloe. You need a Ryu, I got a Ryu. You need an Osfi, I got an Osfi. You need a Makoto, I got a Makoto. Now notice that Makoto that I'm using is a free-to-play. Super handy that. And that's going to lead me into the next thing we're going to talk about. But first, always make sure your advice status is well above, or well, your status is well above your revised status. So my status is 44,931. 28,000 is the recommended. Advised status is 512. I'm at 636. Absence penalty is 0 because I've got all 4 of these units on my team. Quest success rate is 100%. Now, a quick way you can kind of find this out. If I go in here and I change Makoto out for, like, let's say Bell. Let's say Bell. Quest success rate is still 100%. But I'm missing one of these recommended units. I will pass it, but I will most likely not get a great success. Great success is what gets you those sweet rewards. Great success is what gets you Iris. So you want great success, you don't want just one success. And great success is going to basically give you more rewards too on top of not just Iris, but all the other stuff. So in fact, some of them won't even reward you unless you get great success. Just be like, congratulations, you got it. Yay, you got a little XP, have a nice life. That's that. So let's say I'm going to just swap this out for a unit down here, and I'll swap Bell out as well for just some low-level scrub unit. Bam. So now, while my advice status is up there, my advice skill points are below. Quest success rate dropped to 99%. Notice this is no longer gold. Now, I will most likely succeed, because it is 99%. But if it's not gold, you're not getting a great success. Consider that. Consider that. Now, once again, I'm going to go back and do recommended party, and it's going to give me everybody I need. But that's why I say, whenever you're looking at MLBing, when I say MLB, that's the little +5 thing in the corner. Like, Chloe is only a +4. She's not MLB. She's not max limit break. She's just +4. Everybody else, the entire team, aside from her, is max limit break. They're MLB. In fact, I could take that Chloe off, put on a Chloe that is max limit break, because I have a Chloe assist that is. So it doesn't have to be an adventure. Let's just replace the Chloe assist with this Bell. And I'll take Orna off, and I'll put on this Chloe. Now the entire team is max limit break. I lost a couple of points because he's not really a... he's MLB, but he's not the greatest. But we'll still roast the event. You know, he's like... what is he? I think he's a 3-star? 2-star? I don't recollect. I think he's the 3-star. So, that's the April Fool's unit from last year. So, that is Dispatch. We've done a whole video on Dispatch. If you want more information on Dispatch, you can go ahead and do that. But I love the way he runs. He's so derpy. But that's that. Now, that's another way you can come down here, and I'll do a whole video on this later on. But you can actually gauge your win by success special awards by that little the little token that it gives you. And I'll do a whole video on that because, if I'm completely honest, a lot of these we've either lost over time. I'm so far behind on these, it's ridiculous. We've either lost a lot of the guides on how to do these, or some just may not exist. I think that's this one. I've never been able to find it, but I'll do a whole video on just how to gauge these, because frankly, I need to get back on top of it too. I've been awful at these, but just make sure you're doing that. That's another great way to get some free-to-play Iris. Now, one of the things that I've discussed. So we talked about bonds. We talked about selling bonds to get CP items. There's one other thing you can do with these bonds. And one of the reasons I don't like selling my 2-stars, I like MLBing 2-stars. A little crazy, a little stupid, but I like it. I'll show you why, okay? First things first. We got 951 iris. That's an important number. Pay close attention to that. 951 is a very important number. So let's go unlock all. Here we go. I'm going to go ahead and do a little upgrade here. Let's do that. You know what? I can do that. Yeah, that'll be fine. I'm trying to conserve my items because I'm limited on items. So now we've got them up to level 30. Okay. Rank up to level 30. Okay, we're going to do an unlock all again. And we're going to go ahead and upgrade levels one more time. Reset max. There we go. So, well, I say it said level 30. We ranked up to 3-star. Now we're level 30. Now we can rank up to 4-star. And this is the base of your 4-star units. All your 4-stars are going to start level 1, but have the ability to go to level 40. With 2 stars, you have to build that up. Okay? So we're going to unlock all again. And we're going to go ahead and upgrade. There we go. Status board. And we're going to rank up one more time. Now, this is the same levels now where you'd be ranking up if you were upgrading a 4-star unit. So we'd have now 5 stars. Upgrade. Bam. There we go. Level 50. Now, rank up. Now we're level 60. And this is important. There was some debate earlier in the chat as to how much iris you get for upgrading units. So we just grabbed a unit that was level 1 with nothing in him. Level 1, not a thing in him. Not an ounce of nothing in him. So now we've got him up to level 60. Okay. I'm going to upgrade levels one more time. There we go. Bam. Now we're level 60. Now, we haven't gotten any iris yet directly, but hear me out. Let's go back out here and let's go to guild. So, upgrade level 60, we get 10 iris. Upgrade to 6-star rank, we get 10 more iris. Upgrade 5-star rank, we get 10 more iris. So we got 30 iris right there just for upgrading that unit without doing any limit breaks. Now, if I go back in here to status board, I'm going to go ahead and go down to 2 stars. And because he was an adventurer, I'm going to grab adventurers there. So, now that he's level 60, I can start doing these limit breaks. Limit breaks are crazy expensive. So what I'm about to do is exceptionally expensive. But, follow me here. Might actually be worthwhile. Okay? Unlock all. This does not require hero fauna like it does for the 4 stars. So you can just spend your regular fauna. That's 10 iris right there. Okay? We will need to level up again. Level up. Go back. Limit break. Use bond. That's 10 more iris. So if you're mathing this out, we got 30 iris before. We have the ability to get up to 5 limit breaks here and to get us then to level 80. What I recommend doing to make life a little bit easier on you when you're kind of doing this, when you unlock this, don't feed in the fauna and don't do levels. So they stay at level 76, so they're really easy to distinguish on the fly from your 4 stars. Plus, it saves you some CP items and some fauna. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do that for this last one. I'm going to go ahead and upgrade levels. Yeah, there we go. All right, success. And because I can only do one more for now, I'm going to go ahead and leave it. I'm going to leave it so I can actually save a little bit of fauna, come back and do it later. Now, I'm sure later on in the week when we do some more summons, we're not going to really be worried about this. I'm going to come back and be able to fill them all in. But if you max limit breaking unit, you will get not only the 30 we got before, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. 80 Iris. 80 Iris. And that would be if you upgraded a 2-star, a 3-star, or a 4-star. 2 stars are really, 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 really cheap to upgrade. 3 stars give you a decent amount of Sirios. 2 stars don't give you as much. In my opinion, if you're looking to farm Iris, and you've got enough books, got enough Exilia books. I happened to be sitting on 450 earlier today. I've got a lot to farm, but I wanted to show this to you in the video. You will get 80 Iris per unit you upgrade. So for me, when you guys get mad at me that I'm chilling on some older 4 stars that I've never upgraded, it's this. I'm waiting for this particular moment. So notice that if I had the 2 other Gareths, I'd be able to go in here and go upgrade those. 980, 991, 1001 Iris. In fact, more than that because I haven't even accepted these yet. So for every limit break, like I said, you get 10 Iris. Man, look at that. I'm already up to 1,000 Iris. So I'd be well beyond 1,000 Iris had I done that. So imagine all the 2 stars that are in the game. Let's go ahead and just count up all the 2 stars that are in the game. Filter this down to 2 stars. Oh, I'm sorry. That was 1 star. So I'll just leave Bell on there. So you've got what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 14, 18 units here, including the 1-star Hestia, which you probably have MLB'd anyway long ago. And there's actually less. There's more assists than adventures. That's weird. I never would have guessed that. Well, that's a thing, I suppose. So 15 adventurers, and including the 1-stars. If I take out the 1-stars, it's 14 adventurers and 17 assists. Do the math on that. If you 80 times whatever that is. I mean, just let's say for this, round it up to 100. I know that's not the real number, but it is close enough. It's a lot of flipping Iris. You're basically talking almost, probably close to 3,000 Iris right here just in 2 stars. And then there's the 3 stars, which you could go through and MLB. Now, I'd be careful with this because 3 stars do get significantly more expensive to upgrade. Significantly more expensive. And they don't generally add 2 stars and 3 stars to the pool anymore. 2 stars and 3 stars are kind of maxed. Also bear in mind, some of these are actually in, if we go to shop and go to the event unit exchange, some of these are actually in here too. So some of these you won't be able to actually pull. Some of them you'll actually have to get out of here. I believe, I could be wrong, but I believe I have every single one of these units. If not, I will be correcting that. But that is a lot of free-to-play Iris that you could farm up very, very, very quickly. So I'm sure I missed something, but I hope that it kind of explains to you guys how quickly you could farm this up and the kind of things you need to do to start preparing. But really, Record Buster War Games, I didn't even talk about them, but mention them in passing. They're kind of your best bet. But that is the video for now, guys. Hopefully that helps you out. Start planning. The anniversary will be next month. I'm expecting them to start kicking off events, and probably early in June, we will finally get the announcement of everything that is coming, and I expect it to be. Someone has already asked, how much Iris should we need? The answer is 16,000 is the number that you should be aiming for. Sounds like a lot, but it's very doable. Very doable. The reason I say that is because each banner is going to require 4,000 Iris. I'm expecting 4 banners. There's a possibility we could get a 5th, maybe even a 6th banner if there's a part 3 to the event, but they're also going to give you a ton of Iris during the event too, so don't freak out. But for now, that is the video. Let me know what y'all thought in the comment section down below. Keep grinding, guys. Check guild every single day. Do your dispatch quests. Get all the Irish you can. Save, 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 save. Don't summon on anything until the anniversary, guys. That's the video. I will catch you all on the next one.